And then on Friday, I'm gonna play Ghost of Tsushima, which I asked Sony for a code. I asked the same person that sent me the Last of Us code, like, "Hey, you guys got Ghost of Tsushima codes?" And they replied very fast, being like, "The codes are very limited. We are very sorry." And I'm like, I bet. But I'll play Ghost of Tsushima on Friday. And I'm planning on doing a thing where I play Deadly Premonition one day and then Ghost of Tsushima the next day to really just get the maximum disparity between open world genres.
I will be playing Ghost of Tsushima on Friday, and I would like to thank PlayStation for providing a code. And we'll take a look at the game. Listen, Dominic wants to ask us a question.
What's up, Dominic?
Hey, Castle Super Beast, I came across my newsfeed, and I honestly didn't know what to make of... No, I came across this on my newsfeed as something, and it honestly made me ask what planet I was on. I don't know if you've seen this, but I thought it was pretty great, even if it is... just the sign for love in ESL, Wakanda Forever. And there's a link to an article, and the article says, as I pull this up right here.
All right, let's see this shit.
Is that Harriet Tubman on a bank debit card throwing a Wakanda salute?
It is. It is. I saw somebody on my timeline complaining about this like 2-3 days ago.
What the fuck?
Also, what's going on with the...
So,
like,
yeah.
her head looks like banknote-like coloring,
Yeah,
but the rest of the photo doesn't. It looks like they photoshopped a banknote photo of Harriet Tubman onto her head.
Now listen, okay. I understand that it would be an awesome thing to have cultural icons, heroes like Harriet Tubman represented on money and so on.
Yeah, but on money's not on a debit card right away.
No, but apparently the money thing's not going through.
All right.
Apparently that got shut down.
All right.
So, but on a debit card is already, yes.
That is a
far cry.
Yeah.
That is a far cry from the original plan to put it on money. But I don't think it's up to the people making this debit card. What I can say is up to the people making this card is you can't just take
you can.
anything.
Who's going to stop them? Who's going to stop them?
The concept of history.
Who's going to stop them?
Wakanda's not real.
Isn't it?
Okay, so all right, we can dial it back. All right, we can settle for Rosa Parks doing the Batu seat.
There we go. I'm good with that.
Okay.
I don't know if you know this. Rosa Parks, Adam West, best of friends. He let her ride in the front with him in the Batmobile. Which, upon making that joke, I realized there is no back to the Batmobile.
You just get a fucking $20 bill with MLK hitting the dab.
Oh, there it is! Not by the color of their skin, but by how low their dab can reach.
All right.
Oh, that's a sick dab.
Yeah. So,
Happy Black History Month, everybody.
Happy Black History Month.
You know, there was a real great moment the other day when I sat down to start my stream. And Paige, by the way, somehow never saw RE5 once. Ever. And she was like, oh, cool, where's it take place? And I'm like, oh, sick. This'll be a lot of fun.
Mm-hmm.
And then I realized midway into the stream, shooting our way through Kijuju, oh, sick! Happy Black History Month, everybody! Good game to stream.
Okay. No, we have, like, I'm sorry.
Oh man,
Plague.
you didn't see what I said yesterday when you were streaming Garfield.
No, Plague, no.
What did Plague
do?
do?
No, Plague.
What did he do?
Absolutely not. That's not okay.
What did he do?
That is not okay. he wrote.
I'm not repeating that shit on the air.
Plague of Gripes wrote the May 1918 dabbings, and we're done, and we're out.
We're
not.
done.
We're not. No, that's not. We're not.
Eli wins.
We're not. That's the end. Goodbye, everybody.
All right, goodbye. I'm a little behind, but I did watch episode 7 of our ever popular show, Interspecies Reviewers. Now, in the past, we've had episodes in which they fuck a bunch of mushroom chicks, or will-o-wisps, or build their own chick at a golem thing, or turn into chicks and get fucked by hyena women. And you're like, alright, this is all pretty weird. But how are they gonna keep this going for a full 12 episodes? And then you hit episode 7 and you're like, oh, that's how they're gonna keep it going. By getting into the stuff that's weird even for its own setting. Where we find out, hey, you know how a lady in the real world will have an ovulate and they'll have their time of the month? But what if it was a bird person? Or a lizard person? Or a fish person? Would you go to a Waterworld style exhibit and sit in the stands and watch bird people and snake people give birth to eggs live on stage for money?
But that's not.
You going to see a show.
But where's
going to see a show.
Where's the sexy part of that?
You're going to see. Well, the show does a really good job of having the normal human or humanish characters be like, I don't get this. This is fucked.
Yeah, I don't get it.
But there are also characters that are lamias and snake men and mermen.
And why would they?
Because they want to eat the eggs fresh.
Because it's delicious.
Right out the cloaca.
Because it's food.
Because it's food.
But that's food. That's not sex.
Isn't it?
So it still doesn't work.
And then we cut to a shot of, oh man, the mermen got so excited they came in their tank, and you got mermen trying to run from the other mermen's tank juice.
No, like I understand that the simple choice here is to nope out because ooh, gross. But I refuse.
You refuse to do
I
this.
stand.
Yes.
I stand and I question, because essentially, as much as it's like, you know what, you just the brain begs to eject from the conversation.
Yeah.
But I reject your hypothesis.
My hypothesis.
I reject your hypothesis.
You have now done. Congrats, Wooly. You've successfully framed this as my point of view.
What you are putting forward.
What I am putting forward
is that when the egg is birthed,
yes,
that there is an attraction from people who would find that egg to be delicious.
Yes.
I guess combined with...
But also ovulation
some sort of arousal.
Ovulation is an inherently sexual act.
But if one were to fry bacon...
That's right.
...and waft it towards you, that would just make you go, I'm hungry.
Yeah.
You don't get hard over bacon.
That's true. But some people do get excited over eating male reproductive products, which is also technically food.
See,
and that is the argument put forth against your exact line of thinking in the episode when someone brings it up.
Because the delicious food button in your brain is not the same as the, like, ooh, fun,
This
sexy.
discussion occurs. They thought of it all.
And the answer is some people like eating dicks.
Some people just like eating dicks.
That doesn't...
I'm telling you.
That's a hand
I'm
wave.
telling you that if human women dropped eggs that you could see, there would be a whole industry around it.
I don't disagree with that. However, that's also like not an egg you're gonna want to eat.
You don't know that.
Because now we're just cannibals.
Wooly.
Because now we're just vor.
Yes.
Then I suppose that makes sense. But dear fucking God, that means the limiters are off.
Yes. We've hit the episode where most of the cast is trying to ditch. Where could it go from here? I don't know.
The answer is syringes.
No. I'm going to assume...
That's where it can
I'm
go.
going to assume there will be an episode in which they take, like, shortening potions that make them tiny people. So that they may be ingested in some form. I would put money down that there will be a vor episode of Interspecies Reviewers. What if it's a resort inside her pussy
Wow.
that you can hang out in because you're tiny?
Okay.
And
well,
then there's the water slide, and there's the...
Not at all where I was going with that. I just meant change the race. Change it to a fucking Medusa half beholder weird thing.
Okay, you can't look.
That's it. That's all I meant.
You gotta watch the show because you're not hitting weird enough.
Okay.
We can't put that one as the podcast title, can we?
Absolutely not
Yeah.
happening.
Because it has a swear word in it.
I mean, not just that, but like I'm not.
Oh, yeah?
I'm gonna keep that.
Yeah? You don't get to say that after you fucking changed it the other week.
Well, listen, man.
Deep Nut Miracle. Deep Nut Wheelchair Miracle.
That's a super abbreviated version.
Did you see the guy who got in trouble at work?
Sure did.
That's awesome.
Retweeted that shit.
What are you downloading on the Wi-Fi at work,
Yep.
sir?
See, the problem is when you go into Rick and Morty rules,
Yeah.
and then you're like, how small are you? Are you so small that you can be like, oh, this is the beach of the resort.
Okay.
This sand is yeast.
Yeah. No, I got it. Finale of Interspecies Reviewers. Get really tiny, right? And then you go hang out at the resort in one of the internal flaps, and then the girl entertains another regular sized client, and you get the bird's eye view of the whale entering the cavern. And then everybody has to put on their raincoats.
We're going to take a quick word from our sponsors. I guess there was some news.
So, what do you think about a girl that was just a foot? Like her whole body is a foot.
Where's the girl?
It's got lipstick on it. And fake lashes.
Doesn't do it for me, but I'm sure Reggie's in.
Hey, Clemps. What about a girl that's just a foot? You see those fucking...
Is there a wig on the foot?
Yeah.
Okay.
You see those fucking fake vaginas that are foot?
No.
You fuck the middle of the foot.
No. Like Daedara?
Yeah.
No.
Yeah. It's like a foot. It's like a silicone foot. But then at the bottom, there's a hole for your dick. And you fuck the foot. You put it in the foot.
See, at a certain point, you're not... No.
You fuck the foot.
Because you're talking species. And then when you leave the word species...
Is a foot a species? Is
No.
a foot a fantasy creature?
No. No, it's not.
You don't know that.
Okay. Quick little last bits here. One, due to what is surely not supposed to be blah, due to what is surely a leak and something that is what is clearly an NDA breach. A band called the Death Set tweeted out or post Facebook. I think it's Facebook. Just licensed 5 new songs to Tony Hawk's 2020 game. You'll be hearing this shit soon. If Tony has any sway here, or at the very least, if there's a god, we will get a significant portion of the game dedicated to his existential nightmare.
Oh, yeah. Like Tony Hawk, as of now, traveling around the world. People going, why? That's the best one.
Or if we really want to just put it on the wall and frame it forever, literally call the game Tony Hawk's Existential Nightmare.
Oh, that'd be incredible.
And the game is a skating game, and you skate and you get the points, but you're a washed up dad trying to do the 900, trying to do a loop-de-loop, and going through everything we've heard about as Tony Hawk has gotten older in his years. It would be one of the greatest journeys ever. I would fucking be there in a heartbeat for the whole thing.
Yeah, that'd be good.
We all want it.
Good.
Literally just call that game Tony Hawk's Existential Nightmare.
Yeah.
Skateboarding, we're down. We're here for it.
I'd play that. I'd play that right now.
So yeah, thanks to the Death Set.
Yeah, Tony sets the goal. It's like get 100,000 points, right? And he says I have to get 100,000 points in this level and collect the skate logos. And then an NPC just looks at him and goes, "Why, Tony?"
And then it just slowly zooms in as he just stands there.
Why do you have to get the score, Tony?
You know, and then it's like, yeah, you can go get that score if you want, or you know, skate.
You get to the end of the level and it pulls up your achievements, and it's like at the end it's like, but do they matter?
Tony sits down at home at the end of the day, puts the deck on the ground, and just sits in a chair, and just like in the dark, he slowly starts to weep, and lets it out, and then a few seconds later, you hear, "Duh!"
I feel like that game, instead of having a traditional like health meter, if you bail on a trick, like you hurt yourself, instead it should just have like Tony Hawk's like staring off into space face, like underneath the game, and the transparency gets turned down.
Oh yeah,
so it starts to slowly fade in.
Yeah. Okay, here it is. When you wipe out and you fucking eat shit with that crazy animation and the blood comes out and the board goes flying away, you have to mash X to slowly get back up.
Yeah.
And your bones crick. And then when you're back up on your feet, you have to limp back to your board, which rolled all the way over there. And you gotta go get it.
It's not going to be that. It's going to try and be like the old games.
Pat. What is the acronym for Tony Hawk's Existential Nightmare?
Then.
Done.
What?
Not now!
Then.
Then.
Stupid. That's dumb. This is really stupid.
Done. Done and done and done and done and done.
Genius Kojumbo. Good job, buddy. So, this conversation has just awakened a thought in my mind in which I want to say, I want to give a big shout out in case they happen to be listening. They're probably too old to understand a computer. To many of my professors and teachers and that I went through school with, because I just had a thought, which is, you ever see a video of kids fighting and one kid's clearly the bully and he's been a little shit, right? Like 10-year-olds. I think back and I'm like, at least one teacher that I knew in my life saw that going on and thought to themselves, as I'm thinking right now, yo, that kid's pretty small. I could just punch them so hard in the face. If I just fucking punch this kid in the face super hard, I would ruin them. They would bully no one ever again.
Oh, the winner.
Yeah, not the winner, just like the antagonist, like the bully, like all the way up to like, I don't know, 14 or 15, like, you know, just some shit kid.
Oh, right. Yeah,
it's
yeah,
like,
sure.
As the teacher's watching, they go, okay, kids, let's split it up. Let's come on. It's not good. But I bet a couple of them were like, I could just fucking throw this kid out a window and just stomp him. It'd be so easy. And they didn't.
Right, because you can't.
But what if you did, though? That kid would bully no one ever. What I'm saying is that if a teacher catches a bully, they should have the right in their career. Every teacher gets one. They get one. Just one for free. And then we'll see how society shakes out in a couple of years.
Okay, but
we'll just see how it goes.
But how much damage is it allowed to do, though? What kind of numbers are we talking?
You get one. You get one.
But to what degree?
That's the end of the policy. There's one. What? You get one.
Because one can be like, you know, your best shot on a Monday, and one can be, I'm sitting in my vehicle.
Okay, fine.
What is one?
You get one non-item based bodily action. Okay? Whatever that happens to be. It can be a push, a punch, a kick, a throw, a nudge, a trip, etc.
Here we go. Let's hit that fine print. A submission hold has no predetermined time.
It does.
A submission hold can be held.
It has a predetermined end.
It does. If you want there to be an end. The submission hold is so that you will submit. But if the person who's performing the hold does not care about your...
I can't hear it. What?
If the person really doesn't care about the tap.
It's really loud.
You understand? Yeah. How was your week?
Yeah, it was all right. Pretty, in terms of podcast shit, fairly dull. I played a lot of Persona 5 Royal, which is good. I played a lot of FF7 Remake, which is good. I watched some Will and Grace with Paige. Paige maintains being an incredible cook. I thought about going back in time as my current self and just punching out a bunch of children.
Someone just said like, oh yeah, like, yeah, what about them glory kills? And it's just like the child is flashing orange and is all staggered. The bully is like, and it's like, if the teacher clicks the button, what happens right now?
The teacher uses their right leg to kick the kid's feet out from under them, and as they fall, they use their left arm to punch them down into the dirt.
It's not going to be
which
good.
Is the best glory kill from Doom 2016. What was I gonna say?
Done. Until it's done.
Until it's done. You know? Until it's done. It's over. Just keep this system up until society improves. You know what? You know how there's always a teacher shortage? You know, people don't pay teachers enough? Bet you there won't be no teacher shortage if we institute this new rule. You have people going through their career, 20 years, going, oh, I'm saving it. You know, Billy Jimmy back a couple years ago, oh, he was a real fuck. Oh, he could have been. Oh, yeah. Oh, no. But this one. Oh, this little piece of shit. I'm just waiting. I'm just waiting. And you know what? Having the kids live in fear because, hey, you're gonna go to Mr. Johnson's class. You know, Mr. Johnson hasn't cashed his in yet, right?
Class, we have a substitute teacher today.
You better behave.
Everyone say hi to Mr. Gracie. Hello, Mr. Gracie. Oh God,
hey, it's my first day of substitute teaching. I hold on. I need you all to be witnesses. I'm going to sign the wrongful death disclaimer. Okay, here we go. Done. All right. Let's learn about some math, fuckers.
Only one.
Until it's done.
Until it's done.
Oh, man.
Some people have, wrote in to let me know that there's some unsatisfactory customers that are not pleased with the integrity of the passes they've been provided over the last week. And I just wanted to bookend that and let everybody know that, listen, I understand that, there may have been some issues. I feel like I was kind of forced to address that. There was a lot of unhappy people with what they were provided, with the product they were given, and I suppose that's on me. But I just want to, before we zip it up and pass it along and put the topic away, I just want to let people know that I hear your problems, and I have a perfect solution for you. Yes. For those of you who are listening right now, I would like to introduce NPass Plus and NPass Premium, a service which you can subscribe to for a low monthly fee, in which you will be provided with not only all the benefits of owning your NPass, but you will actually have a monthly refresher, so that every 30 days you are guaranteed a brand new, like it is an updating, QR code. It can be scanned to make sure that your pass is valid. It is double checked against the database, and everyone scans it and goes beep, hey, green light, you're good to go. It's kind of like walking through the airport and swinging around your boarding pass, and they're like, hey, there it is. He's got the updated one, right? That's what you got going on. NPass Plus, pretty handy service. You get it all together on a monthly basis. NPass Premium, however, this is where the big Johns comes in, because you bring in your NPass Plus services, plus you get access to the unique we're calling it Your Face service. It is your face. You can determine what you would like your face to look like with any form of of modification, whether that be color or simply any usually colors, where we stick with it. Your Face, coming soon to NPass Premium, and we're currently looking at we're not working on it. We're working on it. No promises yet, but we're currently working on possibly expanding NPass to include other alphabet passes. So we will let you know about the passes for the rest of the alphabet that might be included in the NPass Premium service coming soon. So please stay tuned, and thank you for your kind and loyal patronage.
So that's all good and well. What's the cost?
Well, we're currently working that out at the moment. In terms of dollar value, we're not 100% certain, but a pound of flesh is what we're operating with at the moment.
All right. Let's do that. All right.
What's the modern day? Can we do some quick
So I have some definitions for you, Wooly.
Yeah, if we can do some quick market value estimations on the approximate value of 40 acres and the market cost for one mule. If we can figure out that exact current day value, I think we can start operating with a number.
All right, so I got 3 problems for you. One is market, and 2 are legal.
Okay.
Number 1 is if your definitive cost is 1 pound of flesh, you probably get that for like fucking $3.90 down at the grocery store because you didn't specify a pound of what flesh.
Right.
And considering it's illegal to sell human flesh.
Right.
I assume you meant flesh in general. 2 is I was looking up some legal terms while you were doing this.
Okay.
You're definitely guilty of 1. You're probably guilty of the 2nd. First of all, the issue with the original batch of passes and any subsequent passes in the face of legal or community opposition, you're basically engaging in planned obsolescence.
Okay.
In industrial design and economics, it's a policy of planning or designing a product that has an artificially limited useful life. These things are not worth the paper they're printed on. You're giving them out knowing that they will expire. And on top of that, I suspect that you knew that first batch of passes would not go through well, which makes you guilty of racketeering. Because racketeering, according to thebalance.com, what is racketeering from September 25th, 2019, is a criminal activity in which a person or organization engages in a racket. A racket is when a criminal creates a problem for others for the explicit purpose of solving that problem for money.
So what you're saying is
you invented a fake pass specifically so that you could extort people when it became obsolete.
Now hold on, that's not what I'm hearing. What I'm hearing is especially with the first definition, it's not that these passes are invalid, it is that they were valid give or take 100 or 200 years ago. And that they are currently no longer valid, but there was a range of time in which their validity did exist. However, that time...
Wooly, that's not true.
That's the fine print.
Because you are the one signing those passes, and you were born in the 80s. That is past the ostensible validity of these passes, meaning there was never a point in time in which they were valid. So if you
a
are
customer
not in
chooses
fact guilty of planned
to
obsolescence,
ignore
you're
the
guilty
expiration
of fraud
date
for
on
selling
the pass.
fraudulent passes.
If the customer does not check the expiration date on the passes and does not read the fine print and does not read all of the legalese, they are liable for their own outcomes, which may vary.
Putting something in fine print or putting something in a EULA is not a legally actionable defense.
Which is why it's not only on the EULA. It is not only on the EULA, which you must scroll down and mash X to get through, but it is also printed on the pass itself. There is an expiration date, and that expiration date dates back some 400 years ago. But if the user of the pass does not pay attention to the fact that the expiration date is currently no longer valid, there's nothing that we here at this humble mom and pop shop can do about that.
You can't sell items. Like, this isn't even planned obsolescence. This is innate obsolescence. You can't sell a fucking carton of milk and say, this is milk, right? And the expiry date on date of sale is 2 years ago.
Well,
that's illegal. That's fraud.
Well,
you're selling fraudulent passes. and then you're trying to hit people with a racket in order to re-up their fraudulent passes.
Hey, now listen. The digital collector's edition we're describing here is one that includes no physical objects to begin with. So quite frankly, you know, you can say all you want about, you know, the nature of the pass being fraudulent, but you know, if we say that, like, hey, this digital pass right here is pending.
Wooly,
it's pending. There's a QR code on it, and it's like, you know,
legally
maybe
sell digital passes that would only be good prior to the invention of electricity. Like, what are you doing? You are setting yourself up for a class action lawsuit.
A class action lawsuit.
That's right. You sold a lot of passes over the last week, and they are bullshit. People need to get their money back.
Acres and mules. We deal with acres and mules over here.
Nobody's got mules, dude.
Well, that's why we do.
Some people have acres, but mules are like, who even has a mule? Like, does Plague even have a fucking mule?
I mean, probably not. You know, it's got some kind of.
Hey, you know, like, this is an old-timey, stupid question. It's more about real estate than racism.
Hmm?
Isn't 40 acres way more valuable than a single mule?
Oh, fucking crazy! Like wild. Yeah, 40 acres is insane.
Like, 40 acres is a fucking chunk of land.
It's a humongous chunk of land. It is more than enough to like to have multiple fields that you can till and plow.
So I'm not super familiar with acres and hectares and all that shit.
But people owned like hundreds of acres, you know what I mean?
So 40 acres is 0.15 square kilometers. Can I get a photo of this? What is it in football fields? Football fields.
I mean, back when we had a giant empty fucking frontier, then it was like you can
40 acres is a football field. No, a football field is 1 acre.
Okay,
so it's 40 football fields.
Is that correct? I don't know about that.
Yeah, I'm looking at like 10 different diagrams. 1 acre is about the size of a football field, give or take like 5 yards.
An acre is not a football field. An acre is not a football field. That's not
I'm going to send you a fucking photo of a football stadium is a fucking acre. You piece of shit, lying, fraudulent asshole.
Hey, man.
There's a whole article here.
No, don't be hating on entrepreneurship.
Entrepreneurship. You're not even selling anything.
I am selling an experience.
You're selling an experience for yourself.
I'm selling an experience.
You're selling it to yourself.
I'm selling it.
Money.
I am selling it to those who would pay to have this experience. Before you call into question my character as a simple, humble entrepreneur, one who's trying to just make its way onto Shark Tank so I can get in front of the sharks and say, who wants in on this? All right? I'm just trying to get in front of the sharks and let them know. But before you call that into question, I ask you to call into question the values of my customers, my cherished dear.
You're right, Wooly. Obviously, it is the people buying your product on a goof, not the person who has commodified transactional racism.
If people want to purchase their NPass, NPass Plus, or NPass Premium, which now includes the Your Face service, who am I to stop them? Who are you to stop them? There is more than enough fine print. There is an expiration date.
Wooly,
there is a clear cost. Supply and demand.
I don't know,
Supply and demand.
There are family members of yours that are lawyers. You have buddies that are lawyers.
Sure.
Just putting fine print on things doesn't make it legal. You know that, right?
You understand that
you can't just print things away.
You cannot create a commodity that will sell to people and not not acknowledge that if it's sold, it's because there was a
You
demand.
didn't even create a commodity. It's a non-valid commodity.
It's an experience.
You're like selling people like wishes.
It's an
or like
understanding.
unicorn tears. It's snake oil.
It is a cultural understanding. It's a movement. N-word pass premium is a movement. You don't get it.
I mean, you're going to be selling this pass to the U.S., I assume, right?
I mean, that's my target audience. There's another. Again, we work with our partners. You know,
I have bad news for you. You can't sell the rights to language in the United States.
Oh, that's not what we're selling. Again,
What are you selling exactly?
an experience.
What does the pass contain?
It's a
Is it the experience of
movement.
literally like holding the pass in your hands, or like?
It's a vibe.
Okay, you're selling a vibe. Could you be slightly more specific?
And soon, when our VTuber friends get access to N Pass Purasu, perhaps, they will be able to play all the Grand Theft Auto they want without.
Well, Willie, your product is becoming increasingly unclear. And in fact, I think you can sell the right to use certain language. Like I remember Adobe was getting all assholey about Photoshop.
As unclear as the usage of the word in question.
I think the only solution to this going forward to save yourself from racketeering trouble is that you will have to personally, that's Wooly Madden, must trademark and copyright the N-word. No, I'm not.
All my actions are those of justice. I am unclouded in my conviction. You have to understand.
Mm-hmm. Let's see. Wooly, you might in fact be guilty of a crime right now by trying to sell these passes in Canada. Section 319(1) of the Canadian Criminal Code states that publicly inciting hatred is a criminal offense. It is an offense to communicate statements in a public place which will incite hatred against any identifiable group where it is.
Pat, you're breaking up. I can't hear you. Pat, you're breaking up. I can't hear you. Your mic's not working anymore. It seems like your mic's not working anymore. Something's wrong. I don't know if the mic issues you had earlier today are coming back to haunt you, but I don't know if you worked it out completely. It seems like you might have. It seems like you might have some issues, folks. We're working it out right now. We're working it out. Let's see. Hello? Are you there?
Yeah, I'm there. Hey, what's up?
Oh, hey, what's up? We had some issues.
Hey, I was able to post the Wikipedia documentation of the hate crime statute you're violating right now in the chat. If you want to take a look at that.
We don't hate crime statute. What do you even? How am I in violation of anything? What do you even get on about? What is that? Where does that law apply?
That law applies because you're communicating statements in a public space which incite hatred against identifiable groups. That is, dumbasses dumb enough to buy your pass.
Yeah, okay. Also,
i.e., non-black folk.
How do you know? Wait, hey, who said what? Black? Who the fuck is talking about? No one said anything about black anything. What do you even? What does this have to do with any of that? At no point did I say the word black anywhere. You just said that for the first time in this conversation. What does black have to do with it? Yes, I'm black. And what?
So
how is that relevant?
You're saying
I don't even understand how that's
black
relevant.
has nothing to do with it. I would be able to start up my own NPass Plus.
Secondly,
yours.
You're talking about laws that apply. How do you know I'm not in the Cayman Islands right now? How do you know?
I can see you in your apartment right now.
Yeah, well, you don't know if that's the same fucking background that was put somewhere else. You don't know if I moved my shit.
Green screening to dodge local laws?
Do I own a green screen?
You do.
So, what do you know? You don't know anything. Also, who knows whose name is on the ownership?
Also, regardless of that, Wooly, you are broadcasting to the internet, which means you would be in violation of any particular law if you were to ever come back to that country.
You don't know. You don't know whose name is on the LLCs. And the LLC
but
means
you're
limited
physically,
liability.
literally promoting it with your voice.
Listen, you
I
said
can see you. I can literally see you right now.
You said something black, and I'm like, what? I don't know what you're. Anyways, listen. NPass Plus, NPass Premium, Face. It's a vibe. It's an experience. It's a movement. Those who know understand. They get it.
What do you get with Face? Like literally, like what do you get?
I mean, Face, you know, Face is a way of interfacing with reality, in ways that you might not have ever experienced. It's a way of changing the way you experience the world, while the world also changes.
Like it's a pair of glasses.
The world changes the way that it sees you. So Face is
Yeah, I'm listening. I'm listening. How do you feel about the statement that you are fanning the flames of what am I? Let's be careful with our words here. How do you feel
fanning the flames
about the implication that you may be in fact race war profiteering?
Fanning the flames of wood that might be stuck into the ground in a certain recognizable formation, perhaps a religious one. Fanning those flames.
I actually don't. I'm not
religious.
Oh, there it is. There it is. Okay.
Yep. Took a second.
All right.
Lag.
All right.
Fanning those.
Well, Wooly,
fanning those flames.
I look forward to
Pat. If I am fanning those flames, then perhaps we should grab, I don't know, a water hose with a lot of pressure. Plug it right into the fire hydrant and extinguish that fire, because that's what fire hydrants are for.
Okay.
Fire hydrants are there to blast water really hard and to spray so we can out all those fires. You know?
Well, Wooly, I think your business model is terrible.
I think we can grab some dogs that'll help us find survivors if there's any left in the.
I don't think you're
wreckage.
Actually going to have much success with your current business plan.
We got some dogs ready to find anybody.
And I look forward to your ongoing attempts to monetize digital shoe polish.
It's a vibe. It's an experience. It's a movement. Our customers get what they deserve. NPass Plus. NPass Premium. Face coming soon.
There's got to be some kind of severe ass fine print on Face, because I know you're not selling the full package. What else? Before Tiger King, I also got to say, I talked briefly about Animal Crossing last week. I don't really
Did
have
you
much else to
cross
say.
the animal line?
Wait, did I not talk about Animal Crossing last week? Did that? I literally can't remember if I talked about it last week.
I feel like you did. I feel like you
I
did, but I'm
think
not
I did.
100%.
It's
Animal
good.
Cross
A little. I did a
Tekken.
little. Okay.
Animal Cross Tekken.
Animal Crossing is a game where it is the perfect game for all of us right now because it's about going outside and tending your garden and interacting with your community.
And it actually has you on a day schedule that mirrors the real time outside, so it actually makes sense.
Unless you're a filthy time traveler, which we don't talk to them. Don't talk to time travelers.
I heard that's you can cheat and get shit by time traveling.
It's the in-game clock is just the system clock.
So can you jump back afterwards and keep your shit?
You can if you keep going forward, it's no problem.
If you go back,
going backwards can occasionally unbuild things.
does the game know and punish you?
I'm not certain. I haven't done it.
Because you would think the game would be like, oh, wait, what? What's happening? There should be a whole bunch of lines for people that are confused as to what the fuck is going on.
Well, that would make sense, like from a Mr. Rossetti point of view. I got a good haul on the stock market this week. I got a 2.6 million bell haul off the stock market, so I'm making a big dent in my debt.
Wow.
I've created a village that Paige and a bunch of my friends have seen and have described it as a island for psychos, an island for crazy people, and I don't think that's true. It's just that it's come up in the past that Pat is not a very creative person. But everybody has creative urges, man.
But what creativity is required here?
Well, where you decorate, where you put houses, where infrastructure goes. It's a little city builder. And I decided that I wanted to have one of every crossbred flower in the game, which meant that I needed to acquire all 8 flower types and arrange them in an 8x8 interlocking grid to maximize the cross-pollination potential, which led to the creation of what I'm calling the Omni Garden. And it is like a third of my main island is these rows of perfectly square flowers that I was watering earlier today before we started the podcast, because I want those blue lilies. God damn it! Sorry, blue rose, whatever. I want all the blues, and I've taken all of my day-to-day store infrastructure, and that all lives to the left of the plaza, and then we have a residential segment which is off to the side, and they're all gridified. They're all in nice little rows, and everyone who comes over, they see the Omni Garden.
Checker them, you fool.
They see the Omni Garden. They see they are checkered.
Okay.
They're 8x8 interlocking and checkered. They're in diagonals. It's 5, 8, 12. So 5 internal diagonal, 8 on the exterior, and 12 on the external. It usually goes white, red, yellow. So I got the interlocking diagonal flower Omni Garden, and then next to that is the spaced diagonal perfect interlocking 5 rows of each fruit for orcharding that is sealed off in a square. And then I discovered the real bane of your existence in Animal Crossing, and that bane is figuring out which villagers you want. So, Wooly, there are 400 plus villagers.
What do you mean what you want? Aren't they just there?
They are. But would you like to hang out with Stinky the cat, who is a luchador? Or Lucha, the luchador bird?
Wait, there's 2?
Instead of... Yeah, there's a bunch, dude.
There's
Instead
2
of,
luchadors.
I don't know.
Okay.
Yeah. Instead of, I don't know, fucking Peck, the sparrow who works out, or sparrow, who is a sparrow.
Oh, is it randomly generated?
Here's a little quote from Eli. There are almost as many Animal Crossing villagers as there are Pokemon.
Are they randomly assigned to your village?
They're not randomly sorted. They are all unique. They have dozens of different personality types, and they all have a unique
You're misunderstanding me. Does every village contain every villager?
No, they contain 10.
That's what I'm asking. So you get 10 random ones when you start playing.
Pretty much. You get 2 that are totally random. You can try and pick out some others.
And the more you grow, the more people join.
Yeah, you get to a maximum of 10. And here's the part where it's like, uh-oh. Once you hit 10 and you got all the villagers that the game is assigned to you, it's like, I don't want this guy. I want the cool robot bunny.
So what do you do?
All right. Well, you try and figure out a way to get them out of your village. And this is where...
Can you banish people?
You cannot banish people. In fact, what you have to do, and I'm going to copy a link to you, Wooly, is ignore them. You have to, every time they try and come up to talk to you, turn your back on them. Then go to Isabel, if they do manage to talk to you, and file a regional complaint that they're rude to you. And eventually they will become so miserable in the village, they will leave on their own.
That's fucked up. So you ostracize them.
Yes.
And you make them so unhappy that they leave.
You can also...
You gaslight the shit out of them.
So the danger here, I'm going to send you a photo here, Willie. The danger is that they will run up to you and talk to you, and you won't be able to stop them. So you need some way to make sure that they can't run and talk to you.
They run up to you and force an interaction?
Yeah. So if you see in the photo that I sent you, which is a tweet that I made earlier, you can see that one of the things that you could do is that you have collision with these other animals, and you can push them to where you want, and then you can seal them in with fences.
Yeah. Okay. Mm-hmm.
Now that only works during the day. Ideally, you want to wake up at 5 or 6 in the morning. I pulled that from my Twitter. I was trying to get rid of Phoebe last night. You wake up at 5 or 6 in the morning before they've woken up, and you create an impenetrable barrier around their house and jail them.
Before they can run out of the house.
And then if you have fully sealed them in, and you fully ignore them for a time, they will eventually be like, I gotta get out of here. The problem is, here's the problem. I didn't like Phoebe on my island because she's a boring character. I think she's lame. But I was penning her in. I was hitting her with bats. I was complaining about the way she dressed to Isabel every day. And I just finished in penning her into a river estuary, hoping that she would fall into the river and drown. And then I looked on Twitter and saw what the dialogue actually was when people get fed up to leave. And it is a picture of Ozzy the koala, because he's from Australia. And he calls you old bear, haha. Who is actually one of my other villagers that I like. Talking to the villager saying, I don't want to talk to you anymore. You made me sad. Please go away. And I was like, oh, that's awful.
Oh, now you think that's awful.
That's really sad. So I unblocked Phoebe. I dismantled the signs. I talked to her and I gave her some peaches. She was really stoked about that. And I said, you know what? Let's just forget. You know, it was just a little hazing.
What did you think? What this?
Just a little
dude,
just a little
it's
prank.
Fucking social
prank,
ostracization. It's the
Pranted
you're
Phoebe.
super mean.
It's just it's a funny little prank.
Wow.
All right, let's you go hang out with Peck up. I moved you near where Peck's house is. You guys can work out by the bonfire that I've built there.
Wow. The back down.
And now I'm thinking about okay, I don't know what to do because my island has some fucking losers on it.
You know what? I was gonna say that it's kind of fucked up that Nintendo's system would have this this would exist where you have to be so horribly mean to someone and absolutely ruin their shit and gaslight them and fuck them over till they emotionally are just I can't take this anymore and they leave. It would have been so much simpler and easier to just go to a list and go kick as if they were in a lobby on an online match, right? Mm-hmm. But because you can't do that, and because the game is about feelings and communications with people, maybe Nintendo is actually genius and brilliant because you can't choose what life is going to throw at you. And if you have to get rid of somebody like this, it's not as easy as just going kick and evaporating them from your fucking island. You can't just make
somebody move out like that. You got to make them want to leave.
Yeah, so maybe the fact that this system requires you to be a jerk is brilliant. I changed my mind.
It's so currently in my island, I got Phoebe the Phoenix, who's pretty normal. I got Peck, who's a sparrow, loves getting ripped, working out. I got Merengue, who's a rhino that is colored like a strawberry shortcake and loves baking. I got Patty, the cow, who's into rock music and horror movies. She's cool. I got Ed the horse, who's like a blue weird horse who thinks he's the shit. No one else up with that.
Why can you complain about people's clothing?
I think because they have multiple outfits they can wear.
And you can go tell Isabel at the you
can
can go to City Hall and say I don't like her clothes, make her change them.
Yeah, and she'll oh, I'm so sorry. She's been dressing inappropriately.
And then do they go force them to change?
They listen. If you want to have a good time in this community, you're gonna change.
That's fucked up. That's fucked up.
You ever be walking around and you're totally normal and everything's fine, and you're I need to take a shower just to wash my balls. Just your balls.
Yeah.
Everything else is clean and fine. And you're I've created a fucking pocket of danger in my balls.
No, now you're using your I'm crazy voice talking about this.
For something that's totally normal.
But that's super normal.
Hey, Wooly, hey, I'm leaning forward if you guys can't tell at home. You want to hear the fucking secret? My crazy voice is how I talk about everything that is totally normal. Okay? That's when I talk about normal things. It's just, to you, many times, they're insane. So think about this. You think. Because you're oh, that's totally normal, Pat. Why are you using your crazy voice?
No,
because you might be there too.
There is a tone that you switch to when you know where you're going.
Yeah, and the fact that you think it's totally normal, guess what?
Yeah.
Guess what? You're with me now.
Well, as far as ball washing goes,
yeah, you
absolutely.
gotta wash them. You gotta wash your balls.
There are definitely times, because guess what? There's it's the first place to need a wash.
Everything just drips down into that one spot.
There's a cooldown timer on every part of your body.
And the balls is the shortest.
It's really short.
Yeah.
It's always going. Unit lost, training.
Yeah.
Unit ready, training. Unit ready.
Honestly, the whole reason you wear underpants is to protect the rest of your clothes from your balls.
It's a whole different ecosystem.
Okay, it shouldn't be an ecosystem.
But
what is going on?
What
is going on?
The temperature is different.
Ecosystem implies a lot. What is going on?
The rainforest is on fire.
What?
We're talking about...
Now you're crazy!
We're talking about ecosystems. No, listen. The temperature is different.
It's very different.
You can tell at all times.
It has to be biologically different, or else you'd be sterile.
You know how under your arm is different?
Yeah, it sucks.
Well, it's even more so than that.
Yeah.
Right? So it's totally not at all weird. It's very, very normal to be like, oh yeah, no, I need a shower just for that. Yeah. Totally.
Yeah.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Just for that pocket.
Mm-hmm.
Don't like it.
At the same time, you can just,
Spray Axe on it.
we can be hygienic and just go wash.
Yeah.
It's nothing stopping you.
Mm-hmm.
Like, literally nothing stopping you from just going and washing. But the timer...
Wait. Are you like...
Not if you're out of the house, then you can't.
Okay, because I knew a friend that would wash his balls in people's sinks.
That's not what I'm saying.
Okay, I thought that's what you were saying.
That's not what I'm saying. I'm saying that if you're out of the house, then yes, there's a time impediment in your way.
Yeah.
However, you could very shortly and quickly find your way home.
Yeah.
To deal with the situation.
Just deal with it.
And you're going to, because once again, that timer is on a very short cooldown. It's pretty annoying as far as if in the micro that is the APMs of your body.
Yeah. It's annoying that you have to deal with that part 5 times as often as, say, your elbow.
Right. Imagine if your drones that were like resource mining.
Yeah.
You had to manually click on the Vespine gas.
Yeah.
And then manually click on the command center.
So yeah. So you know what? Some people, they just get annoyed and they're like, you know what? Fuck it. I don't need the Vespine gas anymore. Just let it sit.
Well, Vespine gas is what happens.
Create a new ecosystem.
No. You have to empty the Vespine gas.
Yeah, you gotta empty the gas.
The gas is there already. You need that Vespine gas gone.
So what we're describing is that you lift your balls up and there's like a cough of just...
You require more.
The human body is disgusting.
Yet amazing.
Yeah, it's kind of cool, I guess. There's an old, what's his name? Red something. He's an old comedian. He was on Sanford and Sons.
Red Fox?
Red Fox. There's an old Red Fox special called "You've Got to Wash Your Balls."
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Because you have to.
Mm-hmm.
He's an old man, and he's like, you have to wash your balls. It's
mandatory. You know, if I'm not mistaken, didn't Axe put out...
Shut up.
Let me finish. A ball washing rag type device specifically for that? There is an actual shower accessory that's specifically for that purpose, and they put it out there, and I want to say that company...
Wash your balls Axe commercial.
Yeah. And
Clean your balls with Axe.
And I want to say that tool put out by that company
oh my god, I'm looking at it
is
right
a
now.
statement to tell you what not to do.
Don't spray
I think
Axe on your balls.
When the company that makes body spray says, here's a thing to wash your balls,
don't use the spray.
It's not telling you, but it is implying what you shouldn't be doing. Yeah. And guess what? That, like, body spray is, like, probably got some alcohol content in there. And anything with alcohol content that comes into contact, you know what happens. That's thin membrane.
You want to hear a funny story, and it's the simplest funny story, and it's happened to everybody. I like to clean my hands occasionally, maybe once a day, use hand sanitizer.
Of course hand sanitizer will do it.
So I put hand sanitizer on my hands and went...
Of course!
Not knowing...
Yes!
Wait, that I had a cut on my hand.
Yeah.
And then just what... like, just... Oh my god! I rubbed it right in. Ow! Now imagine that was your nuts.
I remember when the kid in high school rubbed Bengay on his nuts.
Shut up! That didn't happen for real!
Totally happened!
Don't put icy hot on your balls!
It happened to Phil.
Phil's a dumb motherfucker!
I remember. I specifically remember.
And you said, Phil, don't do it!
Well, no, I wasn't there for it.
Okay, you were
I heard the story when it afterwards.
But if you had been there, would you... Okay.
Yeah!
Wooly, this is a really important part of a person's personality. Okay? this, people will judge you based on this question. If you had been there, would you have been like, nah, Phil, don't do it? Or would you have been like, do it, you pussy. Do it, Phil. Fuck yeah, you're the best, you can do it.
Now, a lot of that depends on what kind of person Phil is.
Right.
And knowing him, he's the type of person that was way into it anyway.
So you're like, yeah, fuck yeah, you should do it.
There's no stopping him at this point.
So what are you going to do? You're going to be a downer?
What am I going to fucking stand in the way?
Mood?
Stand in the way of... fuck yeah,
get in or get out.
You missed a spot on that brown face over there. You need some help on that? Let me get...
You would absolutely be the guy.
Let me help you get the back of your neck.
You would absolutely be that motherfucker who's like, yeah, you know what, Jim? I think it's a really good idea for you to go to the party like this. Here, let me help you.
Dude, it fucking crushes the costume. It's so accurate.
Oh my god, you are such an asshole.
It's so accurate. You are killing it on the cosplay right now.
Oh my god. You're totally that guy. You're
It's nuts.
100%.
It is crazy. You are fucking crushing it. Everyone's gonna be super impressed.
Here, let me help you. I'll go buy the paint.
Wait, before you get there, let's put some of this on Instagram.
Yeah. Hey, it's a really good idea. Crop me out of the photo. I don't want to steal your thunder, right? But you're like just out of the frame, doing like this, like big thumbs up, like yeah. And then when he's like, I don't know what you guys. Wooly told me it was a good idea. I was like, what are you talking about? Who are you? Have we met, sir? I don't know what you're talking about.
It's like, Wooly, you have your fingers look like you like you literally have them. Like, what are you trying to say? Well, my fingers can't be dark. You have a problem with my hands being dark?
Wooly, you have a fucking painting kit with the same paint used in the costume.
There's a paintbrush hanging out of your back pocket,
and it's dripping.
And
you're wearing a shirt that says "Brown face is awesome,"
with a picture of you really enthusiastic.
with huge thumbs ups on the back. Well, I don't know what you're talking about. What are you describing? I was just helping my friend get ready for his Halloween. Oh my god!
I heard you had a baby and named it Vodka Gorbalski.
Yep, that came up a few weeks ago. That name came up because we were talking about how to pronounce it, and I'm like, Paige, there's no correct pronunciation. The games don't agree. We're just gonna go look at the Wreck-It Ralph clip to just let's signify that in canon. And I'm like, if you want to go real nuts, we can name him Vodka Garblovsky. And she's like, what? Why? It's like, because that's his real
name.
This dog will want for nothing. He's got multiple vet appointments this month. Like, he's got checkups from 2 different vets. Because we want to make sure that, like, I don't want to go to a vet and the vet's like, oh yeah, dog's great, and then dog's not great. You know, he's a baby. He's got to be protected from the elements and his own internal organs being disgusting.
Have you commissioned the red and yellow choker equivalent for
Oh, you mean his bandana that Paige is going to be putting on him to go to the vet today?
Okay.
Or his red, or his bright red harness.
Because basically, the bangle that Geef wears is a made to go design for the leash, the collar.
We're going to be mainly using a harness and a microchip.
Okay.
Dog's probably not going to wear a collar because he might choke himself with it, and I don't want that to happen.
Okay.
But we do have a bright red harness for him, and
Okay.
we do have a little red bandana for him.
So, I know, I can attest that you have been charging up your love beam for
dog
for years now.
Many long time dog.
Ever since leaving your parents' place, I'd say you've been storing that, right?
Yes, I would say that's accurate.
and that's going to come shooting out in a nice little special beam cannon, and it can possibly annihilate whatever dog happens to land in its path.
I was taking care of him last night, and he was sleepy, and I laid down on the floor, and then he laid down next to me, and I was petting him, and maybe I cried a little bit.
Okay, this is good. This is good.
Maybe that happened.
This is good. However, there is a place this can go.
Yeah.
And that place involves outfits and costumes and all kinds of stuff. And I just want to know.
Yeah.
I just want to know which pedal your foot is on right now. Are we accelerating?
I'm thinking fireman first.
Okay, all right.
I think dressing him up like a little fireman
And this is going.
would be
This
a
is
really
where
good first.
It's
first-
going down.
first
Okay.
one.
All right. All gas, no brakes. This is where it's going. Okay.
Maybe once he's a little bigger, we can put our Texas cowboy hats on him, and he can be a cowboy.
It's just it's not a question of if, it's just how many costume
Oh, is that what
changes.
you were asking?
Okay. All right.
Why even get a dog if you're not going to dress him up in silly costumes?
Make sure to zoom in on his face as he hates it.
Okay, so this is the best part. If you look at baby now, you look at him dead on. And his dad that we know has the same thing. It looks like his wife left him, and he lost the house, and he got a pink slip. Like the eyebrows and the jowls combine to create like, I need another drink, god damn it, look on the dog's face. So when we put the little costume on him and make him dance, the dog will be beaming off fucking kill me energy. Just like, why would you do this to me, humans?
Yeah, that's
energy.
That's the correct question. That is the correct
So
question.
here's the, you want the answer? So audio viewers, I'm sorry for the visual bit, but I'm currently holding a beautiful, wonderful, dumb cat, and he won't wear a little hat. We've tried.
Why do you think that is?
There's one photo of him that Paige's mom took of Elma wearing a Christmas sweater, and he did not like his Christmas sweater.
Is there perhaps a reason you could discern why that might be the case?
Because he's disabled. Because he's a disabled boy. We love him anyway, though. Mwah. So, as a result, we cannot dress up our kitty cat in silly little costumes.
And it's the cat's fault. The cat is defective for not wanting to be dressed up.
Okay, well let's be very clear,
right now.
Wooly. Let's be extraordinarily clear. The cat is defective.
Okay.
Like this is a broken cat. Okay.
And that's what contributes to not wanting to wear the. Okay. All right.
But so the answer to your question is, why would you dress up your dog in little outfits? Is, well, the cat won't wear them.
Gotcha.
And I think that is about as clear a non-answer I can give you.
Yep. See, the goal is to concentrate all that love energy into, a nice, warm, all-encompassing form, and not into a destructo disc.
Mm-hmm.
Which slices in half whatever it touches. Okay.
All
right.
More of a spirit bomb.
Yeah, more of a spirit bomb.
Listen, if we put a hat on the dog and the dog's miserable, I'm not going to wear a hat.
No, but you will still have the big beef suit arm geef thing in the mail, so that
Yeah, but if he doesn't,
and it
wanna wear
arrives, and then it's like, oh, but we set up the shot so that it can walk down the hallway, and then he can have the arms bouncing.
Listen, if the dog don't like it, the dog ain't gonna wear it. Like, for example, some people you put their harness on, and puppies will try and eat their harness because they're idiots. He likes his harness. He doesn't give a shit. He just waddles around with it.
Okay, fine. That's give as long as he
And
gets
the harness is not optional.
as
right?
long
Like,
as he gets a fair shake.
dog needs to be on a leash.
As long as he gets a fair shake in deciding, and it doesn't become a like, oh look, he did it. He's wearing it. It's the 8th time, and he kind of just accepted it. But yeah, look, he loves it. See, doesn't he love it? And then you zoom in on said kill me face.
Let me ask you a question. When you had a dog when you were younger, but it was a larger dog, right?
Much larger, yeah.
Okay, so I've had me and my folks had tons and tons of dogs over the years, and you ever know people that, like, the dog stands up or whatever, and then you grab their arms and you're like, haha, you're dancing, haha, like Ladybird and Hank Hill and that gif, and the dog's like, I don't get it, haha, right? Or you ever pick up your dog and be like and sing a song while you didn't know you wouldn't do that. Anyway, point being,
well, you can do things for treats, but
yeah. Oh, this dog, I've never seen an animal more food motivated.
that's the thing, yeah.
Like, no, I mean, I've seen other puppies, I've seen other dogs. I've never seen any animal more food motivated. The dog goes from dead asleep to almost knocking you over at, I think he's like 11 pounds, with frenzy to get to food bowl. It's hilarious. And we've also been occasionally hand feeding him to teach him like bite inhibition and stuff like that.
Oh yeah. Yeah, true. Isn't there also that thing where like dogs that most breeds will growl and kind of give you indicators before a bite, but like bulldogs will just show nothing.
That is a trait that is commonly attributed to pit bulls, not bulldogs.
Okay.
No. Bulldogs can occasionally get something called food aggression, which is get away from my food, in which they'll growl. Right? But that's why we're feeding him like about a third of the time. Like his evening meal often is by hand, and you teach him bite inhibition so that he slowly goes, oh, and eats from that. And then we're going to teach him to eat near Elmo, and that Elmo's food is not his food, because he'll probably just eat anything he can get his hands on. And the ideal is that get him to the place that my folks raise their dogs, where you give the dog his his not like a bone, but like a chew cookie, like that you'd give him like after they, and be able to like, okay, and just take it, and then they look at you and they're like sad, and then you give it back to them, so they don't fight you for it, they don't growl, etc.
Although, is there a specific age or like order to when like you can start like teaching like habits and tricks are kind of different, right?
Okay, yeah. Name is first, yeah. And that is actually so far been the toughest one, but he will learn eventually. So it's name, call, sit, stay, right, as your primaries, and on the side branch is don't shit on the floor. Don't instead shit on this. Now instead shit on this when there's only one pad. Now instead shit on this when there's only one pad and it's right next to the door. Now instead cry at the door, etc.
I was actually just listening to a podcast that had a dude who trains dogs on it, and he was talking about how you like a big mistake that like people make is like thinking that their tone of voice is kind of going to indicate what they want in times when it doesn't. So like,
Yeah.
so one of the cases were being like, if the doorbell rings and then dog starts going crazy, and then you yell like, shut up, sit down, you know, whatever. What you're kind of doing is also going crazy in response to the doorbell ringing.
Yeah,
so you're just doubling down on the excitement.
So we took baby for a car ride, right? And baby got anxious, right? And you can't comfort them too much with stuff like that, with thunderstorms, with car rides, stuff like that. If you comfort them too much, you are sending off the signal that they're right to be afraid and that something bad is happening. So you kind of just have to ignore them and let them freak out a little bit until they tire themselves out. Like the current battle in the household is that dog wants to sleep on our bed. That is where he wants to sleep.
Yeah.
He does not want to sleep in his crate. He does not want to sleep in his bed. He does not want to sleep on the towels that we have, piled up in little pieces here and there.
Have you been in your bed while he's there?
Yes.
Okay, so...
And the bed reeks of us like crazy.
Yeah,
obviously.
so he wants the smell and the warmth. Absolutely.
Yeah, and the blanket's nice, etc. And he wants up. And we can't... I'm not going to have a dog that has to be in our bed, right? Because there's a difference between, come on the bed, we'll snuggle with the dog, and the dog literally has to be in the bed to go to sleep. Because that is... I had that problem with with the last dog I had with my mom and dad, but he was a Chihuahua. So... No. Puppy will run at the bed and try and leap up, and God, he's not even close, dude. Not like less than a third of the way up.
Oh yeah,
like, it's so
eat
pathetic.
shit.
And has had the past 2 nights has had barking ass, screaming, howling matches with me, where he is losing his goddamn mind and screaming at me and throwing tantrums and pouting, and I'm just on my phone ignoring his stupid ass, going, I don't know why I'm madly in love with Puppy in all other ways, but when Puppy throws a tantrum, man, I don't give a shit. You can cry all day, whatever. You'll get tired, and I will defeat you because I'm a man and you're an 8-week-old infant.
Okay, all right. You show him.
Well, that is what you're supposed to do. You're not supposed to give them any attention, negative or positive, because I don't want to teach him that throwing baby tantrums is the way to get what you want. Now, granted, in reality, and for me personally, throwing baby tantrums can, in fact, get you exactly what you want, but that's a bad lesson to actually teach a young child or dog. Are you noticing a language problem here?
Well, it's not unexpected. It's anticipated, so that's fine. I guess the goal is to eventually just have the both feeding bowls together and let them sort their shit out.
Yeah, the next thing we're gonna do is put Elmo's food near the baby's food, but like keep a door between them, so they know they're like on the other side of the door, but they can't interact. And then we'll move on to putting baby on a leash and having Elmo check him out. But we might have to put Elmo's food on an elevated platform or in a room the dog can't get into. There are situations where if your dog is fat enough or desires to be fat enough, if there's cat food around, they're just gonna eat it.
Oh, that's a problem. That's how you start wars.
Well, at the time being, if there was a war to be started, I would definitely bet on the cat, which is why we clipped all his nails the day before the dog showed up.
Yeah. That's
just in case. Just
correct.
In case.
That's the move. It won't be that way for long, but for now, yeah.
Oh, Wooly, I forgot to tell you. So, you remember last week I described that poop got into my thumb and my thumb got infected?
You did mention.
My thumb is no longer infected.
Good.
My thumb no longer hurts.
Good.
It's no longer swollen.
Good. Great.
What happened is that it got really swollen, and then I bent it while I was in the shower, and I guess the heat or something caused it to swell up, and the right side of my nail must have punctured it, because then it shot like a bunch of goo out all over, and it popped like a zit, or it's like my thumb like came on the wall with the poop goo.
I appreciate bookmarking, or rather bookending, your segments with gross shit.
Yeah.
It almost sounds intentional.
It's because it was infected and there was lots of pus in my thumb, so I had to. I had to squeeze the rest of it out because of the poop.
Can you tell that Pat doesn't like when people tell him not to talk about gross things?
No, this is just constant revenge for the colostomy bag thing.
Gotcha. Still on that.
It's targeted.
Well,
what is a little weird though is my thumb has like a line on it now. I think I lost some thumb meat during this encounter.
You don't.
Oh, well.
Your body should not be undergoing changes at this point. In
I don't know. Maybe I'm going through second puberty.
You know, like at this point in the game, you kind of want the state of things, the state of lines and details to remain relatively the same. Anyway, the chip discussion was quite simple, and what I brought up to you guys, and what was eventually brought up to the chalet was when a bag of chips, oftentimes certain brands more than others will have an uneven distribution of flavoring because the powder and a lot of the goodness in some cases will be concentrated at the bottom of the bag. And thus, it is sitting on a shelf the entire time with that collected at the bottom of the bag. And every time it moves, every time it gets shipped in a truck, whatever it does till it gets on the shelf, it's all there at the bottom. So what I say is, instead of opening the traditional way, which is brand like logo up, and you eat the bag and then you have the powder at the bottom, turn the bag over and you'll notice that the chips you eat off the top right away are really tasty, and as you reach into the bag to pull more chips out, what's on top, that sprinkled powder, will work its way down through the rest pretty effectively. It's something I've been doing for a while, and it obviously doesn't apply to a can of Pringles, and it definitely doesn't apply to, like Ruffles is a kind of brand where it's like every chip is pretty much set in its way. It's not as much about the thing there, the powder there. But I feel like if you get like Miss Vicky's brands and things like that, you will definitely see more powder of flavor beneath it. It's a little bit like if you had those people that eat ramen raw,
Yeah, those people are insane.
I used to do it. It's been a minute, And to be fair, it's been
well, there's the setup. There's the setup for this nonsense.
So,
this is. I don't know what I said the last time. I might have changed my mind since then, but this seems warped.
It's pretty straightforward, really.
Like, I don't like the idea of, if you have a chip, I don't want that chip caked with a second layer of like freed dust.
So,
I think the dust at the bottom of the fucking chip bag is like the waste product from the natural, like it's like the shit of the chip. Like the idea of you like, I need to redistribute that fucking dust.
No, I think you're wrong on that, and I disagree with it, because I think what you're getting is whatever little bits break off in some cases, or whatever powder ends up falling off of the chips if it's a powdered flavored chip, right? And here's the thing about this stuff is it doesn't just apply to chips, right? It applies to a bag of cereal as well. A lot of this stuff I've stopped doing because I've been avoiding carbs generally, but you'll notice a bag of cereal is a really great example of shit gets to the bottom, and if you open the box and pull the bag out and you do it the opposite way, you will notice that, like, again, you're not getting this shit at the bottom.
I don't want this cereal dust.
Well, that's fine. Then definitely don't. If you avoid it in general, then don't apply it to you.
Like, not only do I avoid the dust at the bottom, I shake almost every piece of food ever that goes into my face, so that all the bits that aren't really part of it that would fall off.
Okay, that's fine. That's fine. But here's what I'm saying about the bag of chips. If you are somebody who does like the flavor of the thing and you don't avoid it, like if you avoid that flavor, then of course, why would you want more of it? That makes no sense. But if you're somebody who does like that flavor and you want more of it on your chips and you want it distributed better throughout the bag, then if you do this, you'll get to do that. It'll help fix that problem.
All right, hold on. I need to confirm something. Somebody said, do you even shake hamburgers? Hey, wonderful lady in my life, do I shake my hamburger when I eat it?
When it's in your mouth?
No, I mean, like, do I eat a bite and then do this?
No, I
I do
do.
that.
Okay.
We both do it. Okay, yeah, I do it.
I do.
Okay, see, everyone in this house does that.
I have no idea what you're talking about. What is shaking a hamburger?
So you take a bite of your burger.
Okay.
Right? And then the burger's still in your right hand.
Yes.
Right?
Yes.
And then as you are chewing, you slowly shake the burger just a little bit so that the juices that would shoot out just fall out, and then it's safe to take another bite of the burger. I do that, don't I? Yeah. And when you take a bite of cereal, you move the cereal spoon up and down once or twice to make sure that the excess runoff milk falls out, so that you don't have to, you don't worry about cereal splashing on your face.
As a person who finds that spoons don't contain enough milk in many cases anyway, that's upsetting. That's pretty upsetting, I gotta say.
That's upsetting?
As somebody who, like, I've been given a bowl of cereal with a teaspoon instead of a tablespoon at times, and you're like, the fuck am I supposed to do with this?
Oh, I eat cereal with teaspoons.
You want more milk with the cereal because it tastes
I don't want a
better.
tablespoon. That's too much. That's too much of a bite of cereal.
How, like... Can I just break the fourth wall for a second here?
Yeah, let's break the fourth wall.
I brought this up knowing that anytime one discusses a weird food tactic, you are going to be the villain. And I was fully prepared to sit here and be the villain with this weird chip thing. And somehow you've taken the spotlight. Somehow. In the middle of discussion. I didn't even get a chance to pretend to go down an insane pathway towards chips being better off this way before you already took it somewhere else. I don't even know where to follow.
Well, because when you shake the spoon with the cereal, you're setting it to the same default state so that every cereal spoon is the same.
But milk with your cereal tastes good.
Yeah. Well, let me ask you, when you're done with the cereal, do you drink the cereal soup?
I do. It tastes...
Okay, I just tossed that shit.
The milk with the cereal flavoring is so good that they were thinking about selling it on its own. They were literally...
Yeah, that's crazy.
They were literally thinking about turning it into its own product, and they actually had bars and then cereal milk experimental shit because it was delicious. That's crazy.
That's madness. Don't drink that. It's poison.
Okay.
That's why I give all of my cereal soup to Paige. Because she loves poison.
Do you remember Get Out?
The movie I didn't see?
Okay, so shout-outs to...
Oh, I know what you're talking about.
Shout-outs to Pat sitting there at his fucking table with a glass of milk and a hand-picked bowl of Fruit Loops, which you then eat the cereal, crunch it in your mouth, and then take a sip of your milk with a straw.
I have absolutely eaten that 100%. I don't use the spoon, though. I just pick it with my hands.
And then sip the milk afterwards.
Yeah.
Okay. The villain in that movie is shown to be so insane that that's how they eat cereal. It's literally...
Yeah, I actually saw...
Literally the point of showing the villain eating cereal that way is to emphasize how fucking crazy they are.
Yeah, I saw somebody say asking the director, it's like, "Oh, was this a metaphor about like the white separated from the colored?" And he was like, "No, I just wanted to think up the most psycho thing anyone could ever eat."
Exactly.
And I saw that. I'm like, "Oh, I've eaten that. I'll eat that right now."
Okay, well, anyway, the point of the chips was just that when you flip it over, you get some flavor, and then the counter argument was shake the bag, and then the flavor will get all over the chips. And to that,
Shaking the bag seems like a way more natural solution.
but it doesn't really work that well because one, in a lot of cases, you're breaking up the chips more.
Well, you don't shake it that hard.
And then the second is a shake like that is not enough to get a nice coverage over the full chip like bag. You're getting a little bit, maybe from the bottom to like the 75% mark, 50 if you go real ham on the shake. But it's not going to do much.
Yeah.
You're just kind of fucking up the chips in the bag more. So the shake is kind of worthless.
Like, all of these things are much more preferable compared to the anxiety caused by opening the bag upside down.
See, and this is what I wanted to touch on. What I wanted to actually get to, right, is it, are we looking at a situation where, right, even if there was no discernible difference whatsoever, is it just the OCD of the upside down logo that is bothering someone from the onset?
A lot of people have compulsive tendencies, even if they don't have full-blown obsessive compulsive disorder.
Because prior to that clip starting, right before James started recording it, Min was looking at me opening it and going, "Turn it around. No, flip it around."
Yeah,
and I'm like,
exactly,
"What?
exactly.
Flip it around? No, this is intentional." You know? So it's like if the logo being upside down is a part of this, then it's like, okay, so like what fucking difference does that make, you know?
It's wrong.
Here's what I will say. Back in the day, I remember they sold mini cereal boxes where you had to eat them sideways, where they expected you to flap open the front-facing side of the box, cut the bag open, and pour the milk in that way, and that was madness. It was insane, and it was a horrible mistake.
What the hell are you just...
And I don't know if they still make them, but dear God, it's terrible. It's the worst, right?
That sounds just awful.
Terrible. Really dumb idea. Okay.
Well, I'm sorry that I stole your insanity thunder on this.
It's to be expected because again, I came in prepared. You know, I don't know what I was thinking.
I mean, shit, Wooly. I mean, I think it was like 2-3 weeks ago that I pointed out to Paige when I was eating something. I'm like, you haven't seen my mouth chew for like 2, 3, 4 years, right? And she's like, what do you mean? And I'm like, have you not realized that every single time I go to say anything with any food anywhere near my mouth, I take my left hand and put it as a barrier in front of the entire left side of the entire bottom half of my face? Because I have a terror of people seeing me eat.
Yeah.
You can't let people look at you eat. If they see you eat, it will look bad.
You cover your mouth when you're speaking out of politeness for not spitting food at them while you talk.
Well, I also cover my mouth in general, even when I'm not eating. Sorry, even when I'm not talking. Because I don't like people to see me eat the food. I know exactly where that came from, though. You remember when I had the false teeth?
Yes.
Well, when you eat with the false teeth, you got to take the teeth out, and then I was like a toothless hillbilly-looking fuck.
So you had...
I was like that for like 8 months.
So you had to hide it.
Had to hide
and now it's become a lifetime thing.
Now it's become a lifetime. Hey, Wooly, just remember, OCD is a fun little game where you make up rules for yourself and then follow them forever.
Yeah.
It's a fun little
Okay,
game.
well, look, stolen valor aside, I'm just saying that, the third answer, which was proposed by some people here, which is I like to use a bowl for the chips. To me, A bowl is fine. A bowl kind of it nullifies the entire thing. You pour them out, you have a bowl, that's where it is. Right? But it's just inconvenient. And in many cases, I will use a bowl if I have to offer chips to a group of people. But if I'm just eating them for myself, I'd rather not have a bowl to wash after the fact. So I'll just fucking eat them from the bag.
I will often use a bowl for chips because the bowl sidesteps chip hands.
It does.
I would say
it does. If I'm in a
because you get to just use the fingertips to grab a chip.
But if I'm in a situation where chip hands is not that big a deal because I can just whatever afterward, like it's fine. I'll deal with it.
I very much dislike chip hands.
But the bowl is
that's personal.
The bowl kind of comes out and acts as a neutral a third party to the situation. But all it is this, man. If you are bothered by the logo being upside down, then obviously this has no effect on the flavor whatsoever. This is a minor other mini goblin of some kind that you are wrestling with.
See, you joke, but it does.
Meanwhile, the only reason why I flip it is because the chips taste a little bit better when I do. And it's
what if they don't actually? What if that's in your mind?
I have had a long time to figure this out because the ritual every Saturday for a long time was you go to church and then you do the church food thing in the afternoon after the service, and then you dick around in the fellowship hall for hours, and then when the sun goes down and you're allowed to be a human again, you go buy a bag of chips and a drink or maybe some candy at the dépanneur down the street, and you enjoy that little treat. And we come back to church after that and then get ready to go home. We get ready for AY, which is the evening service. But that chips you would get, I've had many a bag of chips, and I've tried out different kinds, and I was like, hey, at some point, instead of having this powder at the bottom, which you can depending on the flavors, if it's like salty and just like if you're just eating salt, then you're like, okay, that tastes horrible at the bottom of the bag. But if it's a flavor that's like not that bad, if it's a nice one, a decent Lay's barbecue or something like that, then you have it at the bottom, and I'm like, instead of having it all collect into this dust, let me just fucking flip that bitch over, get it all in there from the top, and then I'm like, oh shit, look at that. These chips taste better, and the ones that I reach in for afterwards continue to taste better. It's just that simple.
I bet that you would fail a double-blind taste test of this concept.
Depends on how high in the bag we're talking. If we're talking first layer, no. If we're talking everything beneath that, there's a higher and higher chance of failing. Certainly.
I bet.
And here's the other bit.
You would.
Here's the other bit. If you're going from a neutral, no chip taste in your mouth to chip taste, you're getting a lot of flavor either way, right? Going from 0 to chip flavor and being 0 to, let's say, 80% or 0 to 95% is a much harder thing than going from 80 to 95%.
I bet that if you were 10 days in a row given a random sampling of right side up chip and upside down chip, that you would be unable to tell which was which within the margin of statistical significance.
Again?
I bet you would get it correctly about 50% of the time.
Again? I think any human being going from 0 to chip, whatever that percentage is going to have a much harder time detecting whether it's the slightly more flavorful version or the slightly less flavorful version than going from an unflavored or the less flavorful to the more flavorful. It's the direct comparison from one to the other that you can actually tell more than going from 0 to chip.
So what you're saying is that you can't tell, therefore it's better.
That's not even at all. That's not even remotely close to what I said.
That is what
that's not even. That's not at all what I said.
You wouldn't be able to tell. Therefore, there's no difference.
No,
but it's better anyway.
I'm saying 0 to any chip is going to create a much harder distinguishing point than it is to go from regular to the other way around. And I would say this, as someone who's done it again a bunch of times, it takes a second. It literally you just flip it. It's the same process. It's pain free, and you get a little bit more for it. That's it.
This is placebo. You're insane.
Okay.
And as somebody who knows a lot about my own placebos,
All right.
This is big placebo.
All right. Now let's pause and break this down. All right. So, can we agree that some flavors of chips have the powdered flavor that comes off of the chips in the bag at the bottom of the bag?
Yeah, like let's take just a Dorito.
Can we agree?
The nacho cheese dust obviously falls to the bottom.
Okay. Now, next, can we agree that when you finish a bag of chips right side up, you have all that powder in there that you can choose to eat on your own if you wanted to?
There, you could if you like.
Okay, with the little crumbs. All right. So then, could we not say if you were to take a normal chip out of the bag, or have the entire bag poured out, and if you were to take a chip in your hand and sprinkle a little bit of that on it, that you would end up tasting a stronger flavor to the chip?
Well, no, because after you shake it, all the dust will have gone to its neutral state anyway.
That's not what I asked you.
That's what I'm telling
And
you.
that you answer the question.
It will taste more cheesy than it should.
Should is an objective term. Is not an objective term, my friend. Should is subjective. I'm saying that you have an extra element here which can affect the flavor that does exist at the bottom of the bag. Therefore, when you turn it over, if you're saying it's placebo, you're saying that dust ceases to exist and goes into the ether and stops to existing, as opposed to landing on the surface of the chips, which it clearly does because physics.
If you were to prepare a chip in this way, I bet you could tell the difference. But we're not talking about singular chips that have been redusted. We're talking about a whole bag, and between the whole bag, you would not be able to tell any significant difference between it.
Again, it makes more of a difference towards the top. By the last chips, the dust is probably not permeating all the way back through, but it makes more of a difference for the top half of the bag for certain.
Just put the logo the right side up.
Logo's the problem. Logo's the problem. Logo is upsetting. Logo is...
Because here's the thing,
Can't stare at logo.
Here's the thing, right? When you eat food and you're anxious, it doesn't taste as good as food when you're relaxed.
And upside down logos make you anxious.
Of course they do. It's wrong. It's in the wrong position.
All right. Okay. Well, I'll say this. More sane people...
That's why you have to make sure that food doesn't touch on your plate.
More sane people than you will argue this point from a point of view that doesn't involve necessarily logo anxiety, but the point remains, that is, if you like the powder to begin with, that's the asterisk. Which, because I'm somebody that is like, I can accept if you're like, I hate that shit, fuck that, get it away from me, then fine, right? This doesn't apply. In the same way that it's like, if you throw the milk out at the bottom of a bowl of cereal, you're kind of fucking crazy because of how good that milk tastes. But whatever, right?
I think it actually tastes quite bad.
It's so nice. Milk, post-cereal milk is so nice, dude. As a kid,
I like the...
It was one of my favorite things. It's such a reward.
I don't like it. I think it tastes bad. I like milk to taste like milk.
I mean, I'm willing to say this. I know that as adults, our tastes change. I know that as a kid, I loved it. I haven't done it in a very long time. Maybe it's too sweet for me now as an adult because your tastes, your taste buds literally change as you get older.
That's true.
So perhaps there is definitely a factor that apply. Perhaps there is a factor that makes it better as a kid. I'm willing to throw that in there, right? I'm willing to throw that in there to say, yeah, maybe. But back then, it was sweet, but I loved sweet, and it tasted really good. So good that the company decided to make a product out of it, 2 products out of it. They had cereal milk sold in its own container, and they had the bars that were made of the cereal milk. That's what's up.
It just seems awful.
That's what's up. Well, anyway.
Milk should taste like milk.
Milk should taste like milk. And then, after you've finished eating the cereal with the milk, you get some better tasting milk.
No. There's no better taste. No. That's wrong milk. That's cereal fucking trash milk.
Cereal tastes good. The flavors taste good. The sugar is good. The milk is good. It's all good. And then at the end of the milk bowl, it comes together.
Your concept of better milk. The best milk is the ideal, perfect default milk.
The purest.
That's why it's milk.
The purest milk, I see. Unsullied.
Unsullied by this fucking cereal trash.
Sip it.
Big old glass of milk.
Sip it separately in its own cup. Keep the colors away from it. Put a straw in there.
Unless it's chocolate milk, but that's chocolate milk.
Put a straw.
That's its own completely different food.
Straw in the glass of milk. Bowl of cereal dry. Let them remain unmixed. We crunch and then we sip. This is how we move.
Hey, let me ask
like
you
a
question.
fucking psycho.
This is a legit question because I want to see how you fall on this. Which is more upsetting, having the milk and cereal separate, or pouring water into a bowl of cereal?
Jesus fucking Christ!
Because that's like madness to me. That makes me upset.
Okay. So, what you don't understand about that question is that a big part of being all about the God's health message,
the Lord and whatnot,
is that sometimes we don't want to use things like regular milk because it's not as healthy. What we need to do is get some powdered milk.
Oh, shut up.
And when you get the powdered milk going, if you're in the house of someone who has a big old box of powdered milk, then you're going to have to...
We actually have a big old box of powdered
Then
milk.
you're going to have to pour the right amount of powder with the right amount of water and create the milk yourself. Yeah. And you're going to hope to God that the mix is A, correct, the portions are correct, and B, even if they're measured correctly, that you've mixed a thorough amount, that there's no clumps floating.
The clumps are bad.
But guess what? We are human, and we are only human. There will always be clumps. There will always be an inefficient mix, and there will always be a part of that which is just fucking water. So then you pour that shit over the cereal, and what happens? Well, you're mixing the soup, the fucking soupy milk water powder in an open container anyway, because you've got to have enough room to get the spoon going around. So when you pour it over, you see first the unmixed water hit your cereal, then you get the clumpy parts dropping on top of your cereal, and then the rest all comes together, and now you've got random bowls of cereal with clumps of water and powder milk explosions sitting on them. And you take a bite of that, and then the glop on the cereal explodes because it's a wet surrounding, but the powder inside is still powder.
Yeah, that's why we only use the powdered milk we have for coffee exclusively. Because it's small amounts, which is easy to do, and avoid this problem. And that's only on weeks that we can't get milk, which doesn't happen anymore. So.
I've been to many a household where the only thing to eat was powdered milk with your cereal. Be thankful
Right.
for your regular
I'd rather eat just dry
milk.
cereal, man.
Yes, actually. At that point, you're just going to put some cereal in a Ziploc bag and fucking eat it. Like that.
Like it's trail mix.
You have no choice.
But then what if you're eating your trail mix cereal, right? And then you have a big old glass of milk. Now you're the bowl.
Again, a major motion picture that was Academy Award winning depicted the insanity of its villain as this exact action for the express purpose of communicating how insane this act is to any regular human being. And more than enough people loved and appreciated that movie and that moment because of how disturbing it was.
Listen, man. It's a rich tapestry. Something food.
Anyway.
Got a little sunlight, which I got a little bit of a sunburn probably, because holy shit. And then that leads us into, Wooly, I messaged you last night, and I said to you, hey man, I have some government shit I gotta get dealt with. It's gonna be a while. And then when I came home from that, I went on Twitter and was so tired that I fucked up posting, oh my god, I just had the worst day. Instead, I said I had the first morning. So now that I've decided to go outside and that Pat and Paige have gotten a nice car to drive around in, what this means is that we have to deal with the SAAQ. Now, if anyone doesn't live in Quebec or Montreal, or doesn't drive and does live in Quebec and Montreal, the SSAQ is the Société d'Automobile. It's the fucking DMV. It's Quebec's DMV. And holy shit. Holy fucking shit. Was this a goddamn ordeal? Like, the worst series of appointments I have ever had to go on in my life.
For what in particular?
So Paige is from the States.
Yeah.
Which means that getting a car in Quebec via lease means that it's got to be somebody here's name on it. So it's my car, technically, right? Mm-hmm. But I don't drive. I don't have a license. Mm-hmm. Which means the lease transfer needs to have my name on the registration. Which means we got to go get a new registration under my name. Mm-hmm. So here's the sequence of events. Go to the dealer. Okay, dealer. Car's in my name. Great. Okay, good. We'll have to get a new license plate. Okay, cool. You'll have to go down to the SAAQ to get a new license plate. Oh, and make sure to get a parking sticker. Why do you need a parking sticker? Because almost everywhere that you park in this city, if you don't have a parking sticker and you just dump your car on the street,
yep,
they will give you a ticket.
Absolutely.
Well, guess what? We're home a day, and we got a ticket.
Yep.
One day.
Yeah, the sticker is like, you belong in this neighborhood, basically.
Well, this needs to go faster, right? Mm-hmm. All right, so we have an appointment with the SAAQ, like next week, or this coming Wednesday, I guess. All right, Tuesday, this coming Tuesday. It's tomorrow, right? All right, so last week, what we're going to do, last Friday, which is why I canceled my stream, I was so upset about this, we're going to go down and we're going to pay that ticket, we're going to get that parking sticker, right? Okay, go down to the SAAQ. It's, go down to the branch, and it's like, okay, I would like to pay this ticket, please, and get this parking sticker. Oh, no. You don't do that. And I go, I'm sorry? We don't do the tickets here. I waited 45 minutes in line for you to tell me that this is the wrong building? Is this not the car building? oh, you have to go to your borough's, thing to pay your ticket. Where's my borough? Oh, it's in this building halfway across town.
Isn't the ticket can't be contested because you should be allowed to park there, but the process takes time?
No, we didn't have the sticker. It doesn't even matter.
Okay.
We didn't even have a real registration yet.
Oh, okay.
Okay, so we go halfway across town. We go to see the lady, and okay, this is my borough's fucking what's it called? Access whatever. It's the goddamn the city bureau for my borough, and I'm like, go in. Okay, I like to pay this ticket. She goes, okay, sir. Are you? And she reads this guy's name that's not me. And I go, no. She goes, well, that's who the ticket is for. And I go, what? And she's like, wait, did you not update your registration yet? I'm like, no. We have that appointment next week. She says, well, we need to have your current registration in order for you to pay this ticket. And I go, well, what about the parking stickers? Like, well, we can't give out a parking sticker to somebody without a proper registration. So I go, okay, so where do I do that? She's like, well, you're going to have to go to the SAAQ. And that's about how... Yeah, I know where it is, actually. Okay. So I go back to the SAAQ and I wait in line again and get to talk to the same lady.
Mm-hmm.
And I go, hey, can you do this? And she goes, really sorry, but because it's a lease, your car dealership shouldn't have written the taxable number in this box. She should have written it in this box over on the left side of the page. This form's no good. You're going to have to go back to the dealer and have her give you a new one.
Oh yeah.
With and it's literally literally the box one over. And I go, does this really matter? It's like, well, I need it for my forms.
So Futurama episode.
Okay, so we go back to we call the dealer, and the best part of the story is we call the dealer and she answers the phone and I explain to her and she starts to just swear in French. And she's like, I fucking called them when you were here. And I'm like, I do remember. You did call the SAAQ while we were there. She says, I called them to double and triple check to make sure everything was in the right box. These motherfuckers are always throwing shit out because of these fucking boxes. So we go down and get it. And then by the time we are done with that, the fucking places are all closed. So it's okay. Fine. We'll do, and it's closed for the weekend, right? We'll go Monday, right? And it's because, like, don't want to get a ticket, so I got to go the first day, but I have the podcast today, so I'm going to be fucked up as shit, exhausted. Okay, go down. Waiting in the waiting room. All right. Waiting for a half hour. All right, good. Walk up to the lady. Hello. I would like to do my registration, please. Can you please do my registration? She goes, okay, do you have the old one? Yes, here. Okay, do you have your ID? Here. Good. Here's my Medicare card. Because, at the front of the thing it says, if you want quick service, please have your Medicare card, your driver's license, or your passport. And I go, okay. And she goes, and where's your driver's license? I'm like, I don't have a driver's license. She gives me a weird look. I'm like, my girlfriend drives me. Don't worry about it. She goes, okay, well then where's your passport? I'm like, what do you mean? She's like, well, you need 2 pieces of ID. I'm like, it does not say that up there. It says one or the other. She says, well, because you don't have an account with the SAAQ.
I mean,
you don't have a driver's license, so we don't have you registered. So to start an account, we need 2 pieces of government identification.
Like the comedy of errors here.
That moment where they're telling you and you know that you have there's no solution, and you kind of lock in and you just stare for like 10 seconds.
Yep.
Like, okay, so we come home and actually I stayed there and Paige drove home and got the passport and brought the passport back and then gave her the passport and then she's like, oh, great, a different lady. Oh, great, no problem. Here you go. And just hands me a fucking license plate. I'm like, oh, that's a little bit... All right. They just hand you a plate. They have it underneath the desk or whatever. Okay. All right. Now, back to the fucking borough office. Get down there. Okay. I would like to fucking pay for this ticket. I would like to get the parking sticker, please. Ticket goes through, no problem. Pay for it. Okay, for the parking sticker, I'm going to need proof of your insurance, which I had, right? Because they won't give you the thing unless you have proof of insurance. Okay, fine. All right, I also need 2 pieces of ID, like two like bills or whatever that have your address on it to make sure that I live there. I go, okay. So I brought the insurance with me in a physical paper. And I have a statement from my bank, which is the one I go with my insurance from, that has my information on it. And I have my hydro bill that has my information on it, online in my email. And I show that to her, and she goes, well, these 2 are both the insurance, so I need a different one. And this hydro one, I need the PDF. You can't just show me the email. And I'm like... And, like, my hydro thing, it's been, like, forever since I signed up for it. I don't remember my thing. I can't I forgot how
This
to
is
log
where
into
I
the
start crying.
customer service center.
FYI, this is where tears just start streaming down.
Yeah. And I start, like, I do that thing where you go through your email, and I'm like, bills. Which one just sends me a PDF?
Question.
Right?
Are all of these...
I was able to log into my phone bill. And pull that fucking PDF out and be like, here... I live in my house, please.
Are all of these while at the counter while people are waiting behind you?
No. It's like they have a lot of places they don't let a line form.
Okay, so it's not pressure of the moment standing at the booth. All right, fine.
No. They make people wait in other places in a lot of cases. But I'm just like, all right. So we got the parking sticker. We got the license plate. Great. Fucking awesome. That means we don't have to go tomorrow. That thing is done. We've got the insurance on the car. Everything's great. We come home, put the sticker on the car. We're allowed to park here. All right, we have the license plate. Good. Oh, I paid the ticket. Yeah. We have the license plate. All right, well, we go, well, since we have the plate now, we don't need the goddamn old, like, the sticker license plate that's in the back of the, the back window. Okay, so we tear that off, and I grab the license plate and go around to the back and be like, oh my fucking god, the motherfucker who had the car leased before us threw away the fucking screws for the license plate.
After the sticker,
a license plate just like sitting in the trunk.
After the sticker was pulled off.
Yeah. Like, so we'll have to go. I'll talk to my dad, and he'll tell me how to install a license plate.
Oh boy, dude. That's a series of unfortunate events. Again, I have patience for technology failing, but bureaucracy on, like, again, that, like, Futurama central bureaucracy level where you can speak to the human being, you can look them in their eye, and there is no soul there to be found, where a simple thing to save you 5 trips could not be done. I have no tolerance.
The part, guys, listen, everyone's like, it's just 2 screws. Dude, guys, this was like an hour before the podcast started. Like, we just wanted to get home, and I wanted to take like a little bit of a nap because that was a problem to deal with after the podcast. But
Requisition
Like-
forms going into tubes, going into little suction holes.
I was able to discover in this process what the actual problem was. And the actual problem is that at every single level, the person that I was dealing with was not willing to examine the whole problem.
Mm-hmm.
They would just hit a part in their mental checklist and
Yes.
go fail.
Yes.
And the instant that happened, they'd be like, get out.
Yes.
If I had said, if the person at the SAAQ desk like went through the whole thing after she saw the form was bad and said, oh, by the way, you don't have your passport, bring your passport next time, and every variation of that, this would have been 2 trips instead of, I think, 5 or 6 trips.
Yeah.
Like,
People in those contexts try to, and generally are probably trained to, turn the whole thing into a very binary, like, conveyor belt type of job where it's just like examine, situation, green light, red light, and there's no context to be fucking had.
by the way, I actually forgot part of the annoyance. Part of the annoyance is that me and Paige were buying something online, or I forget what it was. I think it was DoorDash, actually. Or we took my debit card out of my wallet, and we had it down here. And then we're like, okay, well, the next person who goes upstairs, remember to take the debit card upstairs and put it back in my wallet. And we forgot. So when we got there, I got out of the car and she went home, and I look in my wallet and I'm like, motherfucker, I have no way to pay for this registration. Paige, can you please go home, drive home, and get the debit card? So that was actually the first thing that happened today. So Paige had to go home twice today from driving, like dropping me off, then going back to the house, then bringing a debit card, and then bringing a passport.
Yeah.
Like, I woke up at 9 a.m. to do this, and this was the second day, and I think I got home at like 1. Like, fuck.
I learned after like maybe I don't know how many times it was of just the card not being returned to the wallet that there will never be, like, anytime it comes out, it has to go right back in. Otherwise, you will walk out without it. You will be out and like get fucked over by just going like, ah, shit, I paid for pickup or delivery, and put it down on a surface.
To those of you who are making fun of me for getting up at 9 a.m., that's because I was up till 5:30 a.m. taking care of a baby dog, you dumb shits.
Yeah. You can always look into I don't know if you looked into it, but like you can do like phone pay stuff now. It that does exist too.
Yeah, maybe.
Just for like, situations where you're like, oh shit, I got nothing. Well, here, that'll do. But woof woof arf arf bark. That's
Dude, just like, I almost cried.
Yeah, no, that's absolutely it.
I almost actually, like,
That's like
it was like
on
the
step
third
6
time when they're like,
on step 6 when the person's just staring at you going, yeah, sorry, like that's tears. 100%.
It was the one where they told me I needed my passport, and I'm like, it doesn't say I need my passport. She's like, well, the dealer should have told you that you needed your passport.
And like, you never get the satisfaction of it, but in the instances where you could just be like, can the 3 of you get on one call and just fucking hash this out? Because it's not my fault. Like, it would be great because you have to play ping pong between a bunch of people. Like, that's what you really want.
None of whom give a shit.
Just, can you call this person who's telling me something else and figure it the fuck out, and then you could get a consensus going here? Because, like, all these people are sitting at their desks giving you different stories. Like, that's insanely infuriating.
And, like, this whole place is taking place inside government buildings, and, like, granted, they're socially distant lines, but they're lines.
True.
Right?
Yeah.
And I'm having to walk through, like, offices to get this shit, and this is the, like, 3rd day I've been out in 200 days, and I'm like, Everyone's wearing their masks, but I'm still terrified of other people. I'm super fucked up, actually. Like, I'm legitimately terrified to go outside. But got to. So,
That's not
you
good.
know. Like, there's this constant low-level anxiety in the back that's just like, you're dying right now. And it's like, no, I don't like that.
No, you should keep an eye on that and, make sure that when things go back to normal that you don't get fucking stuck with any new isms.
Agoraphobia?
Yeah.
Well, I always had low-level agoraphobia prior because I don't like big crowds. Just the size of what a crowd is now smaller.
But there's a difference between sudden onset agoraphobia and going full hickey mode.
Yeah. I need a needle in my arm, and that'll clear right up.
Okay.
Not just any needle, I have a needle that has a vaccine in it.
Okay. Like, you want to clarify? All right. Yeah. All right.
I thought it might be funnier to not clarify, but then I realized I probably should. I'll tell you what's not positive. The rival food place that I ordered from before we switched to DoorDash brought us some food from a very bad restaurant.
Okay, listen. Full disclosure about this. I can't handle this story.
Oh, yeah?
I can't handle it. Actively,
Mr. Z targeting my colostomy bag can't handle it?
the glimpse at the photo, and I had to fucking check out. I couldn't.
Well, see, what
I
happened
couldn't
here
fucking do it. I can't even entertain it. I
before we
can't go
switched-
down the road.
before
I had
you-
to just completely.
Then turn your headphones off, you pussy.
Couldn't do it.
Before we switched to the excellent DoorDash, we ordered from a restaurant that we thought was good but was very bad because they sent us some moldy, furry potato salad. It looked like that potato salad was becoming a sonic friend.
Already I die at foods that are salads that are not actually salad. Anything that is a blank salad that is not actually just like tomatoes and a bunch of leafy greens can fuck off. I'm already in that place by default.
My wonderful, loving woman, One Peach Saliva, was very tired after a day of taking care of our doggy. And in a series of events that I do not fully understand and react with shock, decided to eat my leftover potato salad without looking at it once. Yeah, it's leftover because I didn't eat it. And about 5 or 6 full bite swallows ins of, oh, there must be cat hair all over this, she decided to look down and see that it, in fact, was growing new life in her potatoes. Furry, powerful life. And when she posted that on Twitter, struggle tweets picked it up and made fun of her. And then my favorite part of the story is people from Struggle Tweets misunderstanding that it was mold and thinking she had somehow cooked the dog absentmindedly and was in fact eating the dog, which led to us having to go into the Struggle Tweets thing and be like, guys, first of all, yes, it is her. She is embarrassed. But 2, that we did not eat our dog. Our dog is right here. He is fat. He is very dumb, but we love him.
That photo is not safe for me.
Nah?
Not safe for me
And
at
then
all.
later, poor Peach Saliva had the stomach problems.
Yeah. I imagine. Fuck.
And we were like, after a day, it was like, oh, I bet it's fine. And then on the second day, it was like, this is not fine. Because as you all know, women do not use the restroom like we do.
Can't handle it.
No.
Too much. Too many.
But you've never eaten food without looking at it and then discovered that it was poison?
Dude, like, the bread that, like, we bought the other day, like, a slice at the back had, like, 2 dots of mold on them, and, like, Punch Mom fucking specced that shit out from, like, a sniper scope mile away and tossed it. Like, it's not about being, like, super hyper vigilant about catching the smallest little things, but how does a large black fuzzy shape, if not the shadow of it, then the texture, not, or the instant scent of something being wrong?
Sometimes you just got a lot of cat hair on your food, and you instead of doing anything about it, you just decide to keep eating, I guess.
Or, like, have you ever forgotten clothes in the washing machine?
I have.
And then you come back to it and you're like, oh no, I gotta fucking wash these again before we dry them out, because you can smell the start.
They'll be weird. Yeah.
You can still smell the start of the mold. Like, how does that in your mouth not immediately send?
That's not mold. That's mildew. That's different.
Okay. All right. I imagine all of your taste buds would fire off and, like, send an alarm.
Now, you would think that is the case. However, you have to remember there are some people out there with what I describe as a scorched palate. And people with scorched palates can't detect anything other than salt or other similarly strong phrases. These are the types of people that would say, eat mustard out of a jar, eat a jar of pickles by drinking the brine as if it were a soda, biting into lemons for real, not as a joke, etc.
Well, let the record show that I had my thumb on my phone and I saw and I clicked on a photo and I yelled no at the top of my lungs. I yelled it and closed the app and stayed off of Twitter for a while as I went back to what I was doing. Like, that was the end of my session. And I am, like... Yeah, like I like Punch Mom's out. She's gone for now. She's, I am alone here. I don't talk to myself.
Yeah.
The first noise I heard in days, because I don't talk to myself. I just sit here. I'm just quiet doing my thing.
Yeah.
I yelled no. And nothing,
real, like, office kind of...
Nothing has elicited that reaction from me in a very long time.
All right, so let's chalk up the list. We have glass, poison, and mold. What's next for our young heroine? Who knows? You were with us when she tried to eat a whole pane of glass.
I was going to say, there's glass redux, if you really want to.
Yeah.
Glass redo.
There was the attempt to eat the whole pane of glass, and then there was the successful attempt at eating the iPhone glass.
What the ever-loving shit is cat water?
Cat water? What's cat water? Oh, man, you know what cat water is? Okay, so here's what happens. So she didn't drink any cat water. Okay. That one she dodged.
Okay.
So what cat water is? It's Paige. We're talking about the Elmo's water bit.
God.
Okay. So what happens is you have some water out, right? And the cat comes out and drinks it because cats are sneaky, right?
Okay.
And then the instant the cat drinks your drink, it becomes the cat's drink.
Yes.
Because cat mouths are filthy at a notorious level.
Yeah, the tongues are used to clean everything. Yeah.
No, not just that. They're also rife with like deadly bacteria. That's why if a cat bites you, it often swells up and gets horribly infected, right? So there's a clip a million years ago of Elmo sneaking up and drinking some of Paige's water, and she won't drink it. And I'm like, drink the water, and she won't do it. What she did do, however, oh yeah, you know what? This we can add a fourth one here, is that there is. Hold on a second. Hold that thought. Stall for time.
What now?
Oh,
The fuck do you think? Dude, like, I'm...
Okay, so we were at a funny little arts and crafts store for idiots. And no puppy, don't. Okay.
Uh-oh.
We discovered this cup, which if you can take a look at it.
I'm looking at a little... it's a little coffee cup, and there's a cat on it, and it looks like Elmo.
Looks kind of like Elmo, right? It's a black and white cat. All right, so this black and white coffee cup I thought was really cute and looked like our cat. And I said to myself, I know what I can do with this cup. I can take it and use it to scoop up the cat food and pour the cat food in the bowl and then put the cat food, put it in the cat food, the big kibble bag, and then so that when I need to give the cat more cat food, just grab it and go scoop it. The reason it doesn't have a handle is I just dropped it one day.
Did you inform
and one
anyone
day-
else of your plans?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes, I did.
Okay.
I informed all members of the household of the plan to use this cat cup for cat food purposes.
Okay.
And one day I forgot it on the counter, and I look over, and Paige is drinking a glass of water out of it. And I'm like, oh no, stop! She's like, why? Sip. I was like, that's Elmo's cat food cup. You're eating cat food water.
Like, you're already fucking dying all the time as is. What are you doing?
Strengthening the immune system.
All
Put
right.
this cat cup back
Okay.
safely where none may acquire it.
Okay. Listen, man, that potato salad, that did things. Like, that did things. I was not ready. No.
Good?
No good.
So, you know what? I didn't even tell you how the story happened in my perspective. I was so tired that I fell asleep upstairs holding the dog. And she comes into the bedroom and goes, Pat, Pat, it's really important. I need help. And I'm like, what happened? She's like, I ate something. And I'm like, okay. And then we walk down and we just see it, and it's sitting there. And oh boy. Love you, honey.
Do you know what I thought I was initially looking at?
What's that?
I initially thought I was looking at the flesh off the back of a mouse buried in the potato salad.
We thought that too.
That's what I took that photo to be. And that never really left. Okay. Video games then.